What's going on, everybody? Today we have a very special video. We've talked a lot about enjoying grapefruit and really getting the most out of it and how to prioritize your cuts and also the order you eat your grapefruit. But one thing we haven't talked about is what if you have multiple grapefruit? You want to really make sure you are also prioritizing the order that you eat your grapefruit. So, some people might say it's relatively straightforward, but it is actually not straightforward. If you review the Wikipedia page on choosing a proper grapefruit, you realize that we're just scratching the surface here. But that's what I hope to do with this video today, to do some very basic tests of how you can ensure that you are getting the best possible grapefruit for that moment. And that doesn't necessarily mean the best grapefruit. It just means the right one for that moment. So let's get started. So first off, you want to just even inspect your grapefruits, because right now we can already tell we're not dealing apples to apples, or should I say oranges to oranges. But so you want to inspect them, do an overall inspection, pull out the ones that are clearly not even a grapefruit. So that's gone. This is some sort of lime or something, lemon. So get rid of those, and just make sure that these look either grapefruits or maybe just big oranges, but they're probably all grapefruits. But so we'll get into a little more details. So we're down to about 4 to 5, maybe 6 of these potential grapefruits. And now, how do we prioritize them? That can be the biggest challenge. And you don't want to get to the point where you're at analysis paralysis, where you want to know which one to pick and you're overthinking it and you're prioritizing your order and you can't come up with the right one. And you end up just standing there, and then before you know it, 2 weeks has gone by and all your grapefruits are still sitting on the counter rotting. So you want to be able to enjoy these grapefruit, preferably anywhere between 4 to 7 days, depending on how many you have. I think that's probably appropriate for these, since we have somewhere in that range. So give it a good inspection. You can see that there are some marks here that you may want to focus on. That may affect the inner quality of the grapefruit. Give it a little bit of a squeeze, kind of get a sense for the firmness of it, and you go through these tests. So you just want to rank them in order of firmness and other properties that you identify, just so you can kind of determine which order you may want to eat these grapefruits. So right off the bat, I'd say we have something like this. We have our 4 to 6 grapefruits. I realize some are off the screen, but just, there's nothing funny going on. I'm not swapping them out with grapefruits that have been, lab created or tested to be perfect. So, it's still the same ones here. All right, so we just go through, we test the, actually, that's better. So this is just basically on how I think they are in the sense of like ripeness, and that's kind of what we come up with from the initial thing. So in this case, I'm going to probably go with not the highest one, because I think I'm going to have an afternoon grapefruit and I don't want to enjoy that one yet. So I'm going to go for one in from the center. So right off the bat, we're at this one, but we do want to make sure that this one here is not totally ruled out, because if this might not make it to the afternoon, we need to eat it immediately so we don't waste it. So right off the bat, we ruled out these other ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so like 4 or 5 or something. But so we're down with our last 2. So just a couple simple tests you can do, and you can notice right off the bat, look at the difference in the shape and the size. So you have a little bit of a larger grapefruit there, more of a oblate spheroid on the right, and this has some of a little bit of dome on the top with some greening. So it's hard to see what's going on inside, though, because this can be kind of deceiving, and that's really what we want to get to the bottom to. So a couple of quick tests that we can do to see which one would be the best. Just some simple things that you have around the house can help you identify which are going to be best for you. So we'll start with this one here. This was grapefruit number maybe 3, something like that. So we're just going to use a simple multimeter, and we're going to put in the ohm setting, set it at 200, and we're just going to do a simple test. So we're going to see what we get. We're going to connect to the 2 ends here. All right, we'll let it steady out for a moment, and looks like getting about, I'd say we'll do an average of 25 to 30. So it's not necessarily the number that you most want to be concerned about, but it is the relationship of those numbers between your grapefruit. So we'll set this one off the screen here. I'll leave it here just so you don't think I'm doing anything suspicious, swapping out grapefruits, or doing it for viewer enjoyment, bringing in a perfect lab created grapefruit. So this is our number 2. So the last one, I think we said the numbers were 45 to 60, and this one here we will do. Okay, so oh wow, this one's ranking really low. Yeah, so the other one was about 75 to 85, and this one's reading, ranging from 0 to 5. So it's quite a bit lower than the other one. It's about 150 lower than the other one. So that's an important thing to do. So we'll rank them in order now of this one 0 to 5, and this one was 150 to 250. And so we kind of have them set up. But there's still properties in these two that we can't really get the full picture yet. Yeah, we've kind of tested to see how the multimeter reacts with them, but definitely there's so much more that we have to do. So another test, we're going to start with this one. This was the lower one, 0 to 5. Put that there, and we're going to do a quick shave. So just take a little bit, and you're going to see some peels there. So we'll put this one up here. We'll leave it on the screen so everybody knows that there's nothing suspicious. We'll kind of group those up, and then we want to take this one here. So this is something that not many grapefruit connoisseurs do, and I've never understood it, because why not use all the best available data? I don't get it. And maybe people can follow up in the comments. What is the reason that a grapefruit connoisseur would not use best available data? So we have our 2 piles here. First thing you want to do is you just want to take a tiny little bit, and you're just gonna smell it. So on the right, yeah, that's hints of grapefruit on the right, and definitely a citrusy tone on the left. So great all around notes. I'm very pleased with the 2 that we've selected, anywhere from the 0 to 5 or the 200 to 250 grapefruit here. So that's just kind of getting started. There are some other like very basic tests that you'd want to do now that you have these sort of you have these shavings that you can run a whole different set of tests on. So that's going to be the next step. So while we kind of get some tools ready here, we're going to just run test number 2. So we want to look also at how it reacts to heat. So we're just going to take a little bit of a blowtorch, and we're just going to give it a little poof. And now you're going to waft it up. Yeah, it smells like, this one smells like burning citrus. Yeah, that's strong notes coming in. Do the second one. And that's definitely more of like a plasticky smell. Ooh, that's hot. It has a less of a grapefruity smell that I expected when we initially smelled those. So we can go ahead and turn that off. All right. So that was really interesting, because if we only went based on the scent of it initially from the scraping, we would end up with one that smells like a grapefruit, if you remember correctly, and then this one was the one that smelled more citrusy. And after we did that, we determined, yeah, this one still smells citrusy after doing the smoke test, where this one smelled like burning plastic. So that's definitely a critical piece of information. And once again, for all the grapefruit connoisseurs out there, you really don't limit your analyses just on some of the easier tests that people like to do, like looking at them or things like that. So you really got to invest the time if you want to ensure that you're picking the proper grapefruit. So we're down to our 2. We have, remember, this one was the 0 to 5, and this one was the 250 to 300. So we have our 2 main ones. And lastly, you're going to just do an overall visual assessment of the 2. Remember, when we did the first visual assessment, we were doing it with all 20 grapefruit. So now we're down to 2, and we want to focus on those 2. So right off the bat, we're gonna just kind of compare these 2 apples to apples, and you can see there are definitely some contrasting aspects to it. This one's got a little bit of a scuff on it. Not sure how that got on there, but that scuff is going to be, it's a little bit alarming. I'm not sure if that's something that could have let in bacteria. I don't know, but I'm definitely going to possibly not even eat this one later because I don't know where that came from, and that's a little concerning. So this one has a red mark, not really concerned with that. And this seems like an all-around greater one. So this one I'm actually going to throw into the garbage. And excuse me a second. All right, so that one's chucked in the garbage here, and we are going to go with our last grapefruit. So this, of course, is just about picking out the proper grapefruit, and with that, we'll go ahead and open it up. But remember, there are, I'm just going to open it. There's definitely full videos you can watch on the proper way to really open it for greatest appreciation. And I'll kind of make that video later. But for this one, just to kind of cut to the chase, and definitely don't forget to wash it before. Oh shit.